Guys, and welcome back to my 7th process video. Today I'm going to show you a layout that I did with my January 2014 Scraptastic Kit, and I'm just showing you some of the papers that I used from the kit, and my base is going to be that whitish creamish color background, and then here are some embellishments that I'm showing you right now, and then here. And at the beginning I showed you photos, and there were 4x6 photos, and I started with those, but they just weren't working for me. I just sat there and stared at the page for about, I don't know, probably 20 minutes trying to figure out what to do with it, and I decided that my pictures were just too big. So I went and reprinted them at 3x4" on my selfie printer, and then I just printed them on top of each other using the Pick Frame app. So I'm just trimming them out, and I like the white border, so I just added a little bit of cardstock to the back to give that white border. And then I'm going to start layering up the paper that I showed you earlier. The ampersand paper and the yellowish color paper has like a diamond pattern on it. Those are both Scraptastic exclusive papers, and so is this blue paper that has the flowers on it. I really like these papers, and what I decided to do is use my border punch that I haven't used in quite some time. So I thought I'd add a little bit of extra texture to the page by giving it a scalloped edge. So now that I got that border punch down there on the bottom, I'm going to add a little bit more to the page. So in the top right corner, I'm going to use this scrap of paper that has the words on it, and just add that here to the upper right, and then I'm also going to put the other piece of it that's left over to the left hand side. And you'll probably see some little fingers in the bottom right hand corner. My daughter was in here playing with the die cuts and things. So she's moving things around over there. But so anyway, I put that other piece there, and I'm going to play with it on what level I want it to be at, but I'm going to end up keeping it where I started with, and it just seems like that always happens, so I don't know why I just don't keep with it where it was in the first place. Here I'm mounting the photos down, and I'm just kind of gluing everything in place. And I'm just using my ATG tape to glue all of the pieces down. And I'm going to start gluing this piece, and then I'm going to decide I want to add a little bit of ribbon to it. So I'm going to go in my stash and grab some ribbon that I've had for quite some time in this American Crafts little pack of all these little small spools, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity to use some of that up. So the first one I'm going to use is this white satin kind of scallop, and I absolutely love this. I didn't actually even realize it had scallops on it until I was pulling things out. I thought it was just a regular white satin ribbon. So I'm going to add that, glue that down, and then I'm also going to be adding this like aqua color chevron, and you're going to see that in just a second. It's either a chevron or a stripe. I can't quite remember. It might just be little stripes. It was white and aqua. So I'm just going to add that little stripe right above the satin white ribbon, and then I'm going to end up gluing all this on top of it. And I just really like the texture it gives, just something else to use for added dimension. And then I just use some stuff that I have in my stash. And I've had that ribbon forever. I've had lots and lots of ribbon. I just don't seem to know how to use it for some reason on the layouts. So I like to get better at using those so I can keep things moving in my stash. Otherwise, I'm just going to have all these spools left around. So here I'm just kind of trying to decide what I want to do. I'm going to mess with the die cuts and the embellishments for quite some time. This was another layout that I just had a lot of troubles with. I kept sitting here and it felt like I needed more. I didn't know what to do. I was thinking right there, I was thinking about maybe making this an 8.5 by 11, but I decided against that. I felt like it needed some balance in that top left hand corner, and I'm going to play with that for a little bit, try a bunch of different things, but I'm going to end up not putting anything up there on that left hand corner. Nothing just seemed to work. I really wanted to use these wood grain elements, but I don't know, it just didn't fit. So I'm going to end up ditching that idea in a little bit and changing it up for some other embellishments that came in the kit. So this is a picture of me, my daughter, and our cat Denali, just basically being goofy and silly, taking selfies. We thought it'd be funny to take a picture of the three of us, and then my daughter always likes to pull goofy faces, so that's what we were doing in the top picture. So we just thought it was a really fun picture, and we do take selfies quite a bit, so I thought I'd add this to the layout. And again, I'm playing with that top left-hand cluster. It was very much frustrating me, this layout was. So I really tried a bunch of different things. The vellum pieces, layering them on top of each other, because they're kind of see-through or transparent, I just don't really like how they look. I felt like one of them needed to be a solid and the other one needed to be transparent. So again, I'm going to end up ditching that idea, and I'm still messing with that bottom right hand corner, and this is what I'm going to end up using. I'm going to keep those two pieces that I had first, the little circle with the year sign on it, and then the ampersand. So that's going to be staying, but I'm going to end up adding a little bit of an anchor to that right and left side, so you'll see that in a few minutes. Right now I think I'm just staring a lot at the layout. I don't know what to do. Like I said, this was kind of a frustrating layout for me. I don't know if my mojo is been on the fritz since I've had a cold. I'm not sure what's going on, but I was having all kinds of difficulty with this layout and the last layout I put together. So here is that piece that I said that I was going to add to the right hand side just to anchor it. I felt like that ampersand was kind of falling off the page. So I'm going to cut that little frame in half. That's from the cut apart sheet, that Scraptastic cut apart sheet. I'm going to put it at the right and the left. I'm kind of putting them off center from each other. I kind of didn't want them to match up. So I'm adding them in a little bit above and below the other. So that's going to be added there. And I actually do really like that. I think it anchors the page a lot better. So I'm going to stick with that. And through this video, you're probably going to see some wardrobe changes. I started this before my daughter went to bed and I had my normal clothes on. And then I finished with my jammies on. So I think in my last couple of videos, you've seen my blue plaid jammies. Today is so beautiful outside. It is like about 60 degrees, and just a few days ago it was like in the teens and 20s outside. So hopefully I'll be trading those blue plaid pajamas in for some warmer spring-like pajamas soon. So now what I'm going to do is, because I felt like this layout was just, something was wrong, it was missing, I'm going to decide to put in some of this texture paste, and this is just that Liquitex texture paste that you can get, or modeling paste that you can get from Michaels. And you can use your 40% off coupon, so that's what I ended up doing to get that. And here I'm just going to go through the different colors. This is going to take me a while. I really wanted like an aqua color that matched the color in the kit, but I just could not find anything that was quite the right color. I probably could have mixed them, but I decided just to go with the Mustard Color Shine by Heidi Swapp instead. So I'm going to add quite a bit of this to the modeling paste and just mix it up. And the modeling paste is pretty thick, so it keeps its body and it still works really well on the stencil. And I'm just using a palette knife and some old packaging to get that all mixed together. And I wanted a pretty dark color. That white background paper, that cream background paper, is pretty creamy, and I wanted to make sure that the modeling paste that I put on top was going to be dark enough so that you could see it. The stencil that I'm using, I've had in my stash for a little bit now. I can't remember if it's I can't remember what the brand is for the stencil. I didn't keep any of the brands. I probably should have wrote that on the actual stencil, but I did not do that. So I'm not sure if it's a Crafter's Workshop or who that is by. But basically it's just a bunch of different size dots and things. So I'm just going to put that all around the page in about 4 or 5 different places until I get kind of the look that I want. And then I'm going to end up drying this up with my heat tool. So that's about all the spots I'm going to put. I'm going to put just a slight bit more right here. I felt like I needed a little bit more at the bottom. And then I'm going to come back, make sure that it's dry, and with my heat tool, like I said. And then I'm going to place that cluster. And I'm going to flip this page around like 5-6 times to see which way I want up and which way I want down. And I end up I think I might end up putting it exactly the way I had it to begin with. I can't quite remember. But I am going to play with this for a little bit. I'm trying to figure out kind of where I want it to be. I felt like some of the clusters were too big, some were too small. I don't know. Like I said, I was just having a heck of a time with this layout. Just nothing was making me happy. So, like I said, I'm twisting and turning and flipping and turning, and finally I'm going to end up deciding that I'm going to keep it here. And then I still thought it needed a little bit more. I was going to try some more of the green. It was just too dark. Then I thought, oh, I'll try some silver, but I'm going to try on the back to see if I even like it. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to think, no, I don't really like that. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then my picture is going to cover that spot, so it doesn't really matter. So it ends up being a good thing that I kept the layout the way it was, or at least the modeling paste. That bottom little gap there that I have, I'm going to end up putting my journaling on that. I think I took the pictures before I put the journaling on, but I just used one of my .1 pens and add just a little bit of journaling. So here I'm just sticking down those elements that I have that are vellum using my Xyron, and then I'm going to stick this one down with my little tiny attacher because the Xyron sticker maker isn't quite big enough. I have a bigger Xyron, but I didn't feel like getting that big thing out. It's huge. It can laminate and put sticky on like an 8.5 by 11. So I added a few more staples on that little year circle, and then I'm going to try a few more things on this layout, and then I'm pretty much just going to be ending off this way. I don't think I do too much more. I'm going to add a few dimensional embellishments. I'm going to add those little chevrons that came in the kit. And I wanted to find some flare that kind of matched the shininess of the chevrons I was going to put in the right hand corner, but I didn't find anything that I quite liked. So I'm going to stick with just these little arrows, and then I'm going to end up bringing in some enamel dots, those homemade enamel dots, and I'm going to put those around the layout as well. And I believe I end up using the gray, the yellow, and like that little tealish aqua color. So I'm just trying to stick it all down. With that modeling paste, sometimes it doesn't stick very well. So later on, what I do is I end up taking my liquid adhesive and just sticking it down in a few places. And I did that off camera because it's not that exciting. So I didn't put that in here, and I did it after I had put everything else down. So here I'm just looking through my enamel dots, trying to pick out the ones that I like, and I think I'm going to end up using the black, the blue, and the pink. I think I might have said I was going to use gray, but I actually didn't use gray on this one. And to get these homemade enamel dots stuck down, I'm going to use some of my, what are those called? Little dots of glue. Glue dots. I couldn't remember what they're called. So I'm going to use the glue dots and glue those down. And I don't know, sometimes these little guys don't really stick all that well to the glue dots. So sometimes I have some problems with them, but I'm going to end up pushing them down and then moving them around with my little Tim Holtz, the pokey tool. I don't know what it's actually called. Maybe the paper piercer. I'm going to end up using that to help me put them down, because it's hard to hold on to those little things and keep the glue on the back and all that kind of thing. So that's just what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get these all glued down, and then that's just about it. I'm going to end up looking up the date on my phone and then stamping the date right under the "this is what it is all about," and that pretty much completes the layout. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've been enjoying my layouts, and I do have a 100 subbies giveaway going on right now until the 18th of March. So if you're interested, please go to that video, put a comment below the video, and subscribe to my channel, and you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to Simon Says Stamps. And then I'm also going to be giving away a little surprise scrapbook care package. So make sure you check out that video, subscribe, and leave a comment below that video. And that's about it. There'll be some close-ups really soon here, and then some still pictures, and have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.